ride.
Oh,
What?
that ghost ride was pitiful.
Okay, first off,
That was a pussy ass ghost ride.
first off, everybody's like, yeah, I don't blame you for not ghost riding the finish line. The finish line is way bigger than they used to be back in the day.
I don't know. That one Brian did it on was pretty big.
There were multiple people that said that the ones nowadays are way bigger than the 90s.
However, he did if he would have done it on this one, there probably would have been repercussions.
Yes, let's put it this way. I don't think it could have gone any more perfect than what he did. I think what he did was absolutely perfect.
It still will never be as cool as Brian's.
No, but you know what? There's still I got pictures of him ghost riding it. It was a thumbnail for last night's reaction video. I'm totally okay with it. Well, now he's got to win. Okay.
I got something you might like.
Oh boy, here we go.
So I was at a dealer visit.
Okay.
And this guy hands me a number plate.
All right.
And it's a purple SMX World Champion championship plate that they were handing out at a dealer show.
Cool.
Signed by Hayden Deegan.
Did you bring it in and so we can hang it up or?
No.
Oh, because I mean, you could loan it.
I could loan it, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, it'll just be here whenever you need it. You can just take it with you.
I got a sweet Anderson jersey. I finally got an Anderson jersey.
Nice. I don't like the jersey things, man. I see the podcast with them hanging everywhere. I don't like it. It's not my thing. I like the number plates. It keeps it way more clean. But
yeah, I guess I could donate it for
like I said, you can have it back whenever you want. I don't really care. It'd just be cool to add to the collection for on the camera.
I'll catch you doing some weird stuff to it.
Absolutely not.
Like, you know that episode of Blue Mountain State?
Oh, my God, we're not going there.
You know Blue Mountain State where the mascot gets caught in the trophy room?
Yes. Yes.
That's where we're going.
No. Okay. But, okay, so Deegan gets the win. He's like 5th in points now. He was super solid all day, even though his wrist was completely fucked in the offseason, and we couldn't admit it.
Also, well, interesting you say that. There's a gentleman on Twitter that somehow got to sit next to Bobby Reagan all night at the race. And
that's awesome.
And Bobby Reagan remember who he was?
Well, Bobby also said, yeah, Deegan broke his wrist 5 weeks ago.
That basically makes my point that Bobby just forgets who he's talking to.
Don't worry, because after the live show, and shout out to all of you. I keep looking at the camera like it's on. Damn it. Shout out to all of you guys who tune into the live show. I got multiple DMs with pictures of his wrist where you can see the scar.
Well, he had it on both sides, and I think that was arm pump surgery.
Well, maybe.
Because the scar was on this side, and then I was looking at his other one. Their same exact scar was on this side.
Then somebody else DM'd me and was like, dude, I've seen the x-ray with the plates and the screws in there. And I'm like, where did you see that? And they're like, I'm pretty sure he put it on Snapchat or something. But he's like, I've seen it. So I just don't. And again, everybody was flaming me after I was complaining in the live show yesterday about coming out about it. I just don't understand why we can't just be like, yeah, dude, I broke the shit out of my wrist. Like,
well, now I don't know. I think it's them being their marketing machine where it's just like, everybody's soft. I'm built different.
And here's what triggered it yesterday with me. In the qualifying, that girl interviewed him, and he was basically like, yeah, if anybody's wrist was in the shape mine's in, like, they wouldn't even ride, a normal person, but I got a title to win.
Yeah.
And I went, wait, what?
Well, like flipping the script.
I was going to say, a week or 2 weeks ago, when your series premiered, you were, oh, it's fine. We took like a week off, little wrist injury, sprained it, no problem. Now it's like, nah, bro, you got plates and screws in there. Like, your wrist got fucked. And I don't know where you broke it or what you broke it on, but 5 weeks ago, apparently, you broke the shit out of it.
Glad everything we said for weeks on end.
Hang on, I'm going to see if I can find that.
That he broke his wrist. That, he actually broke his wrist. So
yeah, cool. Well, and this is something I ran about in the live show yesterday too. We're morons, except for everything. There are people I talk to all the time, and I'm like, you know what? Everything we say about him, we're idiots. And then a week later,
turns out to be true.
His camp says the same thing.
Yeah.
Literally, him or his dad come out and say the same thing. So we're idiots.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, go ahead.
So things I learned sitting next to Bobby Reagan.
This is going to be good, I can tell.
Deegan broke his wrist 5 weeks ago. Plessinger is his best friend, and he cheered more for him winning than his own riders.
We can confirm that's true.
Can confirm.
Bennick was going to get fussed at for not pushing harder in the LCQ.
Doesn't surprise me.
Not at all.
He's planting corn next week. Him and his wife have been married 50 years.
Bobby's planting corn next week?
Yep.
Bobby doesn't remember his own name.
No.
They are from...
Oh, I was about to say, Bobby sure as shit's not.
They are from New Orleans. They still own a car dealership. They love karaoke. He said, come see him at the next race, and they'll get the whole team tour.
He's not going to remember that guy.
Not at all. But that's awesome.
He's not going to remember that guy. I think he forgets who Jensen Hendler is half the time.
This is epic. How did you end up sitting next to him? The team owners and shit apparently don't get seats. Wow.
Yeah, it's called industry seating. You don't get an assigned seat. There's a section you're supposed to sit in, and then the owners just go sit wherever because, let's be honest, who's going to tell him he can't sit there?
Right. Don't get seats, so they just walk around until they find open seats. And we had 2 extra ones next to us that weren't being used. And he stumbled upon us and asked if they were available.
Probably literally stumbled.
Probably. He can't remember. He doesn't know how to walk anymore.
Wow, you guys are assholes.
No, it's true. Never
Dude,
mind.
I mean, he's just an older gentleman, okay?
He's got
It's
issues,
fine.
man. He's got issues.
It's fine. Like, we saw this firsthand in Chicago.
We
With
did.
the moped?
Yeah, with the moped and
Hey,
everything.
Jensen, I know that you're my 250 team manager, but go get that fucking moped.
Bring me a bike and go get that moped.
Yeah, go get that moped.
Yeah, so anyway, one other thing I did have about Deegan. He rode great. He looked good yesterday.
Yeah, for sure.
We kind of talked about this in the group chat last night. In my opinion, the title is now coming down to him and Anstie, but
I mean, that's also debatable,
I
but
don't know. I think Mr. Hang Dang might be in there.
no way. Same situation as Faulkner. And again, I told you guys about this in the group chat last night. Dude, the other shoe just drops on these guys. RJ, Smith, Hampshire, Hamaker, McAdoo, Faulkner, all of them. Like, it's terrible to say, but the other shoe just drops on them, and something happens that costs them the title. They're fast dudes. They'll win races. They're going to have great racing careers if they can get out of it, being able to still walk. But that's just the way it works. We're like, Deegan, yeah, he's had a couple small injuries here, whatever. A couple things not go quite his way, but for the most part, it's looking pretty good. So, and like Anstie's just got that VRM, so we'll get to him. But
I still think a lot of this 250 title is up in the air, to be honest with you. I
think this one's still up in the air.
I still think it's up in the air. I mean, with Faulkner going out the way he did, and obviously he's not coming back, it was definitely his title to lose, and then he lost it.
Yeah, it's his to lose, and there it went.
And Deegan would definitely obviously be the favorite because he was the favorite for a lot of people had he been healthy and not broke his wrist. But, I mean, dude, if that wrist is still that bad, and clearly, like, he was marking Faulkner and Cole agrees with, we both have the same train of thought, that Faulkner was managing that lead.
Yeah, Faulkner greased the whoops and pulled back out.
Yeah, because I even went back and looked at the lap times. Like, the lap times even show it, that they were yo-yoing, and then when Faulkner got the whoops figured out, he dropped back down to the 46s, and Deegan was still in the 47s, and then obviously he crashed. But, like, I believe if Deegan last night gets a 6th-place start, Deegan doesn't work his way towards the front.
I think he gets to at least
I
third.
think so.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. The only reason I say that is because I still believe that McAdoo might be faster than all of them.
Well, probably, but he can't stay off the ground.
But he hasn't. But that's the thing, though, is through the 2 rounds, he hasn't crashed on because of him doing something stupid.
Well, no shit. He was laying in the first turn, the first one, and his bike was all bent up, and his balls were dragging on the seat the whole race. Of course, he didn't crash the first one. I wouldn't want to crash with my balls hanging out either.
The only thing Deegan has is he needs to watch, like that pass that he tried.
Bro, I have that in my notes here. I was just about to.
I like how Austin just kind of just didn't even think about it. He shook it off, kept moving forward, and he's
that
like
D-gaff T-bone move there.
Yeah, but
that
what
I
I'm
was
saying
like,
is if Danger Zone.
Yeah, you can't do that to everybody.
You can't do that to everybody coming through the pack, and he's going to try to be whipping his pee-pee out like that.
Yeah,
I don't think it hangs as low as McAdoo.
No, McAdoo will hit him over the head with that
Oh
thing.
my god. No, man, I still believe Deegan is obviously one of them. He's one of the favorites, but the problem is I still think there's a bunch of favorites. Like, I don't.
Hamaker could warm up and get a win.
Yeah, we'll talk about Vial. Like I said, Anstie had a bad start, worked his way through, got 6th.
Red plate.
So it's like I wish.
That's why I said it comes down to
I
Anstie
wish.
or Deegan.
See, and I don't believe that. I wish I would have that much conviction like you do that you think it's going to be either one of them. Because honestly, I can't answer the question that
I can't answer it yet.
Yeah, I wish I could.
Can you answer for any of the 3 classes?
The 450 class, Jets firmly in the title hunt, right, or firmly in control. Eli wins at Daytona, then I think the momentum shifts. And as far as West goes, it's down to RJ and Smitty. But East and Kitchen. But East, I don't know of any of them. Because any of them could win at any given moment. Like Hamaker gets to start. He's got the speed. He could pull away.
I mean, I'm not saying they all can't win. I'm literally talking title consistency here.
And who
I'm
the hell
going
out
with
of them?
Deegan or Anstie.
And last year, Deegan's rookie year,
That
He was
also his,
consistent as shit.
that was also his rookie year, though. This is not his rookie year anymore. And the
So,
year's already
he's
started
gonna
off
be-
not as good as last year did.
But that was that first turn crash. It wasn't his
That
fault.
was as Ricky would say, a quagmire.
Look, here's the thing. If he doesn't get in that first turn crash last week, he's probably top 5. Or 2 weeks ago, whatever the fuck it was. He's probably top 5.
I agree.
And then this title looks way different. I mean, then he's points leader right now.
Fortner didn't die last night, too.
If Fortner didn't die last night,
But
Fortner was 70 points
I'm
later.
just saying, if last night happens the way it happened, and you go back 3 weeks ago, and you don't have that big first turn thing, I still think he's theoretically. I think he's top 5. I'm not saying he wins. I'm not saying he's podium. I'm saying he's top 5 in Detroit, and now all of a sudden he's got a 5th and a 1st, and he's leading these points basically.
I got to get through. I got to get through 2 more rounds before I can give you an answer of who I believe.
Yeah, I'm with him.
Look,
Because we still. What's going to happen to the Triple Crown?
I mean, I'm just stamping it right now. You've got Deegan or Anstey. Levi's going to win the West Coast, and you've got either Webb, Tomac, or Jet wins the 450. Stamp it.
No.
That's.
I mean, that's good.
That's where I'm at
I'm just
right
not as
now with
confident
what
on
I've
this
seen.
coast.
There's
Too many
just
guys can win.
there aren't any of these other guys that I look at and say they're going to rattle off 4 wins and be on the box the rest of the time. There's just no way. Deegan, I think, is going to win 2 or 3 more probably.
Maybe.
And then he's going to be consistently in either the top 5, if not the podium, the rest of the
He
time.
also could get stacked up in a first turn pile up at Daytona and get 12th.
Okay, barring
I don't.
27 first turn crashes here for the rest of the year.
I'm not that as confident as you are in this coast. There's two. Unlike the West, there's a bunch of dudes on this coast that if they're feeling it that night, they could win. The West, we kind of have a good idea of who are the guys that could win. East,
Yeah.
I mean, so let's go.
And that's not what I'm arguing
Yeah.
here, that the guys can't win, because when you say McAdoo's probably the fastest guy, probably as of right now, yeah, he probably is the fastest guy here. Vial,
we'll talk about him.
I don't know what the situation is with him, and as far as like
Somebody
winning,
said he
or whatever.
weeded his
He
shit
did, he
hard.
weeded
He did
hard.
in practice,
I missed
yeah.
it. Was it
Like
on
he
the
was
broadcast
hauled
or
off.
whatever?
You've got Hammaker. Yeah, he's fast enough to win too. You've got Pierce Brown. He probably could put one together, but he hasn't yet.
He was
but
down
again,
in the brown again.
Yep, he was, but he could. And then you've got Anstey. And Anstey is the other. Like I said, when it comes down to championship talk, it's all about consistency in my book, which we all know that's the case. And those are the two that are
Anstey's
consistent
getting the
here.
Tim Ferry title. God, I would
So,
love that.
I mean, maybe
He's gonna win Daytona.
I don't think he's gonna win. I don't think he's gonna win. I don't think he's gonna win Daytona.
No, Deegan's gonna win Daytona.
I don't think so.
Last
on that
thing about Deegan before we move on.
Yeah,
How do you guys feel about the interview?
one. I don't like
dude,
it.
I'm fine. I actually,
I don't like it.
I'm still not a full blown Deegan fan, but man, the attitude and stuff that's coming out here,
I don't like it.
That's my style.
I don't like it
here's
because
my
of what
theory.
happened.
Swing
I
that,
get- yeah,
swing that thing around, man.
I mean, yeah, like Ricky or James always would say, hey, I hate to win them this way, blah, blah, blah. But I guess I could have used this for my TLR tinfoil, but I think it's part of that media game that you talk about. You listen to like a Racer X interview or something that's more the core fans, it's a lot more humble. Now, he's on that broadcast for all the little Tom, Dick, and Larrys that are part of his YouTube deal.
All the Deeganites that, the bedbugs, as Weech calls them, that come out of the comments at us.
They're all watching the broadcast for sure. So they're going to hear that. He's going to cater to that crowd. He probably got the analytics to even know.
Yeah.
He can look at the analytics, I'm sure. So he, is the cocky dickhead that.
Is he really like that on all of his videos?
What?
The cocky dickhead switches it off.
I don't watch that many of his videos.
I don't know, but it'd be very, very.
Because I've always heard he brings up the whole Christian thing in his videos, like him being a Christian of like a faith.
He
and
does,
all that.
yeah, he does talk about going to church and everything a lot.
Brian does the same thing, but can you imagine if they really sat down and nitpicked the media game that much? We're like, hey, we're gonna do interviews like this to this crowd, and we're gonna do these kind of interviews to this crowd.
I have a hard time believing they don't. I sit here and think about this crowd.
Okay.
Why do you think we have the Isaac Nelson Designs Deegan Danger Zone?
I would have had no problem with that interview up until the moment he had to bring in the fact of, well, yeah, I went back and watched the heat race, and I saw Austin was making a bunch of, mistakes, and I knew I could capitalize it. And then the Deegan Danger Zone. If he'd have just stopped with, I don't want to win it that way, I'm bummed for Austin, I hope he's okay, and then stopped the interview, I'd have been cool with it. But even though I know it was not his intention, you got a kid over there that has been through more shit than you could imagine. And this is Deegan and anybody in the class. Fortner's been through more shit than anybody in that class could imagine. The highs and lows of that kid's career, there's nobody, even McAdoo with all the shit he's been through, it does not top Fortner.
No.
I think he's got AC beat at this point.
I think he does. I think you're right. I think they were neck and neck last night and put him over the top. Not really a distinction you want. You got a kid over there that title hop, gone, shot. Lucky he doesn't have a fucking broken neck. Lucky he's alive at this point with the way he folded his body. I know this was not his intention, and I know that the kid's young, and I'm not blaming him any so bit that he was thinking about this, but you didn't need to go. It's kind of like jam it in there.
Yeah.
If you'd have just stopped with, I hope Austin's okay, that was a bad crash, but you went over the top, and then I'm like, that was too much for me.
How was the press conference? I haven't watched it.
It was okay. I was kind of half paying attention because I was editing the video at that point too. Like I said, my ears really perked up when he said the Danger Zone, which, by the way, this video is going to be titled, "He Stole the Danger Zone from Me," Deegan Danger Zone, because that ought to bring 100,000 views.
No, you could put, I know what the caption should be.
All right, let's hear it.
Did we originate the Deegan Danger Zone?
I don't know. It might be too long. I think it'd be better if I say he stole Deegan Danger Zone from us. I think it'll be better. I mean, honestly, I think it'll bring more views. Which again, to go back to your point of, do they think about this? If we're talking about this for our channel, do you think there's any way they don't?
Yeah, I think that kid's his entire career is mapped out 10 years from now.
Mean, they're smart enough to study those guys he talks about, the Andrew Tates, the Goggins, that kind of stuff, and understand the characters they're playing, all of that jazz, to build the brand.
Yeah, I think
they're smart enough to do that.
I think his entire career is mapped out at this point.
And to be honest, he probably
get a trademark on Deegan Danger Zone.
I mean, I might try to. And to be honest,
I've looked at all his trademarks. It's not.
It's not there.
Yeah,
Oof, I might have to.
Deegan is Deegan 38, Hayden Deegan. All those are trademarks.
Do they own DeeganDangerZone.com?
I don't know. Go look.
Ooh, I should.
It's just a website with Hayden Deegan's face. You go to click.
Somebody go buy that right now.
No, you should get Deegan Danger Zone, and the website is literally just his face with your voice in the background going, Deegan Danger Zone.
And you put like a menu bar up top, and you think people are gonna go click it to bring it to another page, and it's just that.
It's
just the same fucking thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, I should
with
do
like
that.
a siren. Deegan Danger.
People
that'd be
get
awesome.
so pissed, but they'd be like, clever.
With just in the background, I went to the Danger Zone.
And then the only other thing you can click on is shop, and there's a shirt.
Anti-Deegan Club.
That's great. That's great.
Oh man, we just made all the money.
If somebody steals this idea, it's on record.
I'm going to buy DeeganDangerZone.com after the after
go
we're
on
done
the trademark
recording.
registry. It's pretty interesting.
I'm so ready
found
for
Ken
that. How long
Roxon's address on there.
Interesting.
And I looked up his house.
How long does it? I mean, I had that a long time ago.
What, the really like ranch style looking one down in Florida?
Well, I don't know. I didn't look up his house, but I had his address a long time ago because that one girl Zoe I dated made a bandana for his dog and sent it to him.
I forgot about that.
She DM'd him and was like, "Hey, I make these bandanas for dogs. Would you guys like one?" And he DM'd her back and was like,
really?
"Yeah." And then his dog had it on in one of the preview show things.
Oh, that's
literally, I have a picture.
Wasn't
think,
the dog
somewhere.
wearing it at the National that year?
I don't remember. Maybe.
I think so.
But it was on national TV. I literally paused it, took a picture. I was like, "Dude, your bandana's on fucking TV."
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, and she was like DMing him, not like his manager or anything, like him. So
cool.
I was like, "Wow, that's sweet." So anyway,
Anyway,
I'll go buy
that
that
ends the
website.
Deegan Danger Zone.
Yeah, all right,
Yeah.
let's get to McAdoo.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, I got lost on there one day. A lot of interesting stuff on there.
how long does it take to do a trademark?
I don't know, but you can see who owns what their company name's under, what their LLC is.
Probably a
what
lot cheaper
address.
than doing an LLC.
What's the website?
Just I don't remember how I got to it. We'll look at it.
And that's been your Isaac Nelson Designs Deegan Danger Zone. I didn't do the intro on that.
I
which
know,
sucks.
loser.
Well, sorry.